I bullied him. I got him emotional. So if he thinks he's gonna stand in the middle of the ring this time again, it's gonna be a lot of the same.
There is no emotion behind this fight, only focus. I kept going forward, I kept pushing, and I hurt him quite a few different times. He didn't leave that squared circle unscathed.
Personal issues with a former coach of mine, it's been hard for me.
Why did you go to prison? What happened?
Hello? No, that's my hat.
So this morning we were here at 5:30 a.m. We trained till about 7:30. So I'll be at my gym 3 times today, and then later on this evening, I'll go over to Grindstone and we work on some of the bare knuckle techniques that we've been, always innovating, always creating, trying to push the boundaries of the sport. So like somebody would work an 8-hour shift doing, flipping burgers or something like that. I work an 8 to 10 hour shift training. In the summertime, we call the gym the furnace, and the reason why is we feel like if you can take training and sustain a good pace and good rhythm and all that in the heat, then when it's time to get in there and fight, it's absolutely nothing. That's why my cardio is second to none, because I'm used to training, in the toughest spot. Oh, the temperature.
Oh no, is it saying it's too hot?
Yes. Break a rib with that shot. Get faster when you drop the weights.
Right hand. I don't care if it's glued to your face. Stop dropping it. We've been working on a lot of different things. I've been putting a little bit more technical stuff in as far as the fight goes, as anything like that. But as long as we stick to the fight plan, we'll come out with a W. We just wait until next week to get it on.
Good job, good job. Now knife, left underhook and cut through the pass. Now go right. Your other right, you like ahead. All day. I'm really proud of you. Great class today. Real loud, 1, 2, 3, oh, come on. We're good. I own 2 gyms, and I own one that's a monster, if I'm being honest, and in a good way. We've got 600 members here. There's 90 plus classes a week. We're busy. Business is good, even through COVID. I've been fortunate. So business is good. I'm very busy. But I think to answer your question is, how do I find time for training? And this camp, for the first time ever, I've actually stepped outside of these doors. It's been hard for me. It's a move I probably should have made a long time ago, because like the hardest thing for me to juggle as a professional athlete is being a coach, being a business owner, being a dad, but also being obviously a professional athlete. I was, for the first time, able to take that off of my plate and say, hey, you're the coach. Tell me what you need from me every day and hold me accountable. And because of that, I think August 20th, we're going to see, it's crazy. I'm getting older and I've been here a long time, but I say new and improved Johnny Bedford.
Johnny just now started stepping out and wanting to reach out and branch out and bring in new guys to help him and improve his talent and his skill. So if we talk about being a step behind, we've already been doing that, and we've only increased on that since. You had to take that loss to go back and do that. I've already been doing that. I've already been through that fire. So I'm not the one that's a step behind, the one that has to play catch up.
The Dat fight. Again, not throwing shade at anyone, but there was a lot of stuff that people don't know go on being a business owner and, being the boss of kind of your boxing coach of sorts. And we were going through a lot of things. I did not have a great fight camp for that win. I don't blame that on anyone but myself. I'm a professional. I've been doing this long enough that I know what needs to be done. I thought I underperformed. I was unsure, but I was hoping that I still did enough to get my hand raised. I didn't get my hand raised. So I left, and I left more like, not to pout or not to, just to give him his moment and to go be pissed off by myself. I worked really hard to get that belt. Being undefeated 5-0, I think I definitely did enough to warrant the rematch, so I thought that was the game plan. There's more than one way to say you don't want to fight, and that's asking for stupid amounts of money that no one's going to pay you. If you wanted to fight, you'd show up with a real number that's realistic, that they'd pay you and get your worth. But you're asking for stupid money knowing they're not going to pay you, and you can get to hide behind that saying they're not going to pay me, blah, blah, blah. Well, the show goes on, and the promotion moved on. And they had Reggie Barnett, who's 6-1, the most wins in the promotion, yelling that he deserves a title shot. They have the former champ who was undefeated, who lost a close decision. It made sense for the promotion to make who's going to fight for the title? Reggie and Johnny. We can do a rematch. It was a great fight the first time. So that's how it worked out. I'll see Dat win again. I really hope I see Dat win again. And that's how I'm not overlooking Reggie, but that's how I see it.
Why did you go to prison? What happened?
Well, I mean, if we want to be completely honest, I was out there running the streets, was dealing drugs a little bit, hanging out with gang members and people I had no business being around. And I honestly, I just got caught transporting for somebody, and I had to eat that charge. I did a year, I got out, and I was just broken as a person. I deal with a lot of mental health issues, a lot of guilt, shame, remorse for my actions and other things that had transpired in my life, and I started drowning all that with alcohol. And that just made it even worse. I caused so much more turmoil, not just in my life, but in the lives of the people connected to me. So I finally got to the point where I told him, I said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Just go ahead and lock me up. And I said, well, Your Honor, can you give me some more time? I think it's going to take more than that. And if you could have heard the scoff in the courtroom when I said that, everybody thought I was absolutely crazy. But I knew in my heart that I was done living the way that I was living. He said, you're the first person that I've come across who's ever asked me for more time. He said, but if it's what you want, I'll give it to you. So they sentenced me to my 3 years. I hit the ground running when I got to prison, and I started working on myself. I was like, I'd like to try to help other people and see if we can get a boxing program started here. And so we talked to the warden. We talked to some of the other counselors, and they're like, yeah, if, as long as y'all aren't going to be in there trying to beat each other up or, hosting fights and something like that. And I got to train. I still got to work on my craft, and I got to teach boxing to other people. There was a time where, I won't say that my dad, because he's never turned his back on me, but I think he just got to the point where he was just like, you know what, I'm going to let him go through these experiences and with hopes and knowing that I would find my path. Actually, my last amateur MMA fight before I got incarcerated, I was drunk, and he knew it. And he was like, oh, you've been drinking. I was like, no, Dad, I haven't been drinking. He's like, yes, you have. He said, I'm going to take you to go get this ass whooping anyway. And it was crazy because our relationship actually got better when he would come visit me in prison, and we would sit down and we would have the hard conversations that I think I avoided when I was out there running the streets. But I came home and we just kind of reconnected, and we started building, not just rebuilding, the gym relationship, but rebuilding our relationship as father and son. And the rest is history. When I first started bare knuckle, when I went to the tryouts, he was absolutely opposed to it. We're boxers. I taught you. I raised you to be a boxer, because he hated me doing MMA in itself. But when he saw how passionate I was about this sport, how good I am at this sport, now it's my son doesn't fight without me. And for me, that means absolutely the world. You're allowed to be tired, you're allowed to quit. Push more. Hands up. Get him off. He'll be here. So I talk to myself while I train. Because as much as I have Brandon and Dad and Chase in the corner, sometimes you can't always hear what they're saying anymore. So you have to be your own voice. So if you don't practice it in the gym, then when you're actually in the heat of the moment, you won't be able to do it.
And did you do it when you fight too?
Yeah, all the time. Some guys, it's funny because some guys, I'll be talking to myself, and they'll think I'm talking
shit, yeah.
They'll think I'm talking trash to them. And so they'll freeze for a second, and it gives me an opportunity to, sneak a shot in there or something.
So yeah, so I'm a dad too. I've got to, go to plays and go to choir concerts and meet the teacher next week. I'm going to meet the teacher on Monday, and then I leave Tuesday for my fight. So that's the world that I live in, man. So I'm busy. I was at the gym at 7 a.m. this morning, but I had to be at FHG at 10 a.m. because I'm held accountable. Yes!
There you go, again.
I wouldn't say he's like a bully. He's just real aggressive.
I bullied him. I got him emotional. He fought my fight, and he stood in the middle of that ring, and we saw what happened. He got sat on his ass 3 times, twice in the first round. So if he thinks he's going to stand in the middle of the ring this time again, it's going to be a lot of the same. What do I expect? I think Reggie's going to come to fight. I think we're going to see the best Reggie we've ever seen. I truly believe that. This is his dream. But I think I'm just one step ahead, just a little bit better, a little bit bigger, stronger. I hit harder for sure. I'm going to, he didn't like it last time. He's had a shot once, and he came up short. And he's going to get his shot again, and he's earned it. And he's the rightful man for the challenge. But he's running into another, problem August 20th. And that problem is not going to let him, his dreams come true. He's not going to be the world champion. He's not taking that belt back home to Virginia like he thinks. That belt's coming back to Texas where she belongs.
I admire him. He's a father just like I'm a father. He runs a business just like I do. He's got a kids program. If you look at it, it's kind of parallel. There is no emotion behind this fight, only focus. I have a goal, and I'm focused on it. And this goal, like I said, is not just for me. And Johnny is in the way, so I'm coming. And we've already done this before. And he hit me with everything but the kitchen sink and could not stop me from coming. The world saw that. Some people act like, oh, he dropped you 3 times, he absolutely beat you up. You get knocked down, but it's not a matter of what happens when you get knocked down. I have knocked myself down plenty of times. It's a matter of what you do when you get back up. And the world already saw what happened when I got back up. I kept going forward. I kept pushing. And I hurt him quite a few different times. He didn't leave that squared circle unscathed. He's in my way now. And if you don't want to move, then I will move you myself. That's it. My redemption is coming. Johnny's coming. I'm coming. It's going down. Make sure y'all download that app. Tune in August 20th.